Late. There's a vote going on right now that a mild interest in, and I apologize for keeping you waiting. First of all, I want to thank the CEOs from some of America's leading companies, from technology to financial services to travel and retail. And we'll hear directly about the outlook for their businesses and the economy from their perspective, and how we transition from a historic economic recovery to a stable, steady growth and lower inflation without letting go of all the historic gains we made over the last 18 months. But before we get started, I want to say two things about the GDP report we received this morning. First, it's important to start with what we know before this morning's report. Our job market remains historically strong. Our economy created more than 9 million jobs since I came to office, in no small part because of the people on this stage. Our economy created more than 1 million jobs in the second quarter, the same period as today's GDP report covers. And our unemployment rate is 3.6%, near a record historic low. Secondly, households and businesses, the engines of our economy, continue to move forward. Just this past week, SK Group from Korea was here at the White House to announce $22 billion in new investment in semiconductors, advanced batteries, and electric vehicle chargers, and medical devices. That's on top of the $200 billion in clean energy investments in America from other businesses since we took office, all powering the strongest rebound in American manufacturing in 3 decades. Now, there's no doubt we expect growth to be slower than last year and the rapid clip we had. But that's consistent with the transition to a stable, steady growth and lower inflation. There's going to be a lot of chatter today on Wall Street and among pundits about whether we are in a recession. But if you look at our job market, consumer spending, business investment, we see signs of economic progress in the second quarter as well. And yesterday's Fed Chairman, the Fed Chairman Powell made it clear that he doesn't think the U.S. economy is currently in a recession. He said, quote, "There are too many areas of economic where the economy is performing too well." I said too well, T-O-O, too well. He pointed to the labor market as an example. The best thing we can do right now is put our economy in a better position to make the transition to stable, steady growth for Congress to, steady, stable growth is for Congress to act. That's the best thing we can do. They're voting right now, as I said. I applaud the bipartisan effort to get the CHIPS Act to my desk to sign into law, which would advance our nation's competitiveness and technological edge by boosting our domestic semiconductor production and manufacturing. Another thing that Congress should do is to pass the Inflation Reduction Act to lower prescription drug costs, which would reduce the deficit, I might add, and help ease inflationary pressures and ensure that 13 million Americans can continue to save an average of $800 per year in their health care premiums. Both of these bills are going to help the economy continue to grow, bring down inflation, and make sure we aren't giving up on all the significant progress we made in the last year. I'm going to stop there and begin the meeting. But thanks to the CEOs for joining me. And let me start with you, Brian, and thanks for taking all my phone calls, pal. At the Bank of America, I want to ask you a question. Your bank serves many